Well, welcome back to Shimpling Park Farm. The blackberries and the apples have been amazing this autumn. Sweet, probably because it's been the hottest, driest summer in memory. But work on an arable farm in autumn is almost as frantic as it is during harvest.
We've got our wheat to drill first, and then after that, in sort of mid-October, we will drill our wheat and bean crops in these fields. But we like to plough them because it weatherproofs the soil. It means we can drill them a bit later, which beans really don't want to go in the ground much before the middle of October. We're ploughing no deeper than 4 inches. It's about the depth of my phone case. Any worms are way below 4 inches because there's just no moisture in the top of the soil. It's been so dry. So it's all about appropriate cultivations at the appropriate time.
And when you're thinking of buying new tractors, it's this time of year that it's great to try them all out. Red ones, blue ones, green ones, yellow ones. Do you like it?
I like it.
Good.
Smart tractor.
So what have you bought today?
Wheat.
How much?
I don't know. Enough rope here to hang me.
We plant half our crops in the autumn and half in the spring for lots of different reasons. Partly to spread the workload, partly to aid weed control, and partly to disturb diseases by not being too predictable. The sowing, or the drilling as they call it, is full on, and we're constantly dodging the weather. You need dryish soil to plant the seeds, but you need rain to get the seeds going. And as soon as the seeds are in, they can start growing. Are in the ground, sometimes they get pressed down with the rolls. The seed must be in contact with the soil, and it also helps to keep that precious moisture in. John, what are you doing?
So this is my measuring wheel, and we've nearly finished drilling our wheat, and the last thing we have to do is drill our trial. So we're doing a trial looking at different seed rates, we're doing a trial looking at different wheat varieties, and so yeah, I've got to go over there and mark out the trial so things start it. It's not a unicycle, Alice, it's a measuring wheel.
I'm Rufus and today I'm marking out the points to take some drone photographs, and here we're trying a fertiliser trial.
An organic fertiliser, is that?
Yes. Yeah.
Show us how you do a trial.
Well, I'm walking out the length of the field now, separating out into segments, and then plotting my points from there using the GPS on my phone. And then I have an app which lets the drone visit each of the points that I've plotted on the field by itself. So I just stand at the corner, press go fly, and then it goes off and does its thing.
The extreme weather that seems to be getting more and more frequent means it's more important than ever to be trying new things.
This is what the drone's seeing right now, so it's zooming down to this height, taking a picture. See, there it is, moving over to the next point, which we plotted out earlier. I'll repeat these pictures every 2 weeks, so we can see the progress of the field, and then more importantly what happens when we spread the fertiliser on it in November. So now in 2 weeks' time when I want to come back and scout the field again, I can simply stand on the edge of the field, press the same buttons, and it'll go away and take a picture of the points that we walked out this week. So don't need to walk it out again, it knows where it's gone.
And Rufus was very happy because Agri-Epi had their annual conference in the barn, showcasing and discussing all things technology in farming. Some people think of organic as being old-fashioned or Luddite, but quite the opposite. What's not to be excited about the booming world of technology if it helps us farm more accurately without chemicals?
Mark Williams from Basler, and we do machine vision cameras. They are used in all kinds of things, from making your iPhone that you're filming me on, all the way through to medical devices, drones, AGVs, agricultural uses. But you might want to use thermal imaging because obviously sheeps are covered in furry stuff, known as wool, and that furry stuff you can see through with a thermal imaging camera, so you can see the body line of the sheep.
So I could put these on my weighing crate,
Yeah.
and it could look through the sheep and it could say, gosh, that's looking a bit thin or a bit fat or a bit ready for
Yeah,
market
yeah.
or not.
Discovery.
So it's
We have a number of small robots here. We are doing one key thing with them, which is soil sensing, measuring nitrogen levels in the soil. They're very good at continuous monitoring of change, and you can optimize your off-farm inputs. So you might not need to put in as much fertilizer as before. You might not need to put in as much pesticide as before.
As an organic farm, we're not allowed to anyway.
Oh, perfect. Eventually you can use it for other things like identify when pests appear, so you can react quickly.
We're using drones for spraying, which we can still not do here in the UK because it's not it hasn't been regulated yet. If you're in a country where you are indeed relying on crop treatments, that's actually the purpose of this industry. It's to displace traditional machinery from the field. We're doing it in Hungary, we're doing it in Latin America, we're doing it in Venezuela, we're doing it in Bolivia. The thing is that drones are getting bigger. And now the next generation is going to be a 50-liter drone. It was announced just this week, which means that pretty soon you're going to have the capability of doing 1 hectare per flight.
Yeah?
When it passes through the strawberry field, and it can tell you how many strawberries on the plants, and are they ripe, are they ready to be picked, and then it will tell you tomorrow how many people you need to send to the field to pick strawberries. Picking strawberries, I think that will probably take a while for the robot to learn how to do
So
that.
that's still good old-fashioned humans.
I would say there is still a long way to go for the robot to pick up that with a human being.
Brilliant. But it did strike me that a lot of the innovation is focusing on how to save money by farming with chemicals, but saving a bit more money by using them more accurately. There's a bit of a way to go before it's really useful for organic farmers. We also hosted a conference for an independent agronomy group called Indigro. These are agronomists who are not paid by the amount of chemicals they sell. Oh, and it's great to be having a discussion about organic methods with chemical or conventional farmers who share an interest in farming more sensitively to the natural world. And on the sheep front, it's shearing time. Getting those big fleeces off now, so it grows back a little bit before the winter. Also gives Joe a good chance to go over everything and check everything's in good order. Some of the girl lambs now go to other farmers to breed from for next year. And it's time for some of our lambs to go to the butchers. Sorry, boys. But that is what they're bred for. And I do eat meat, which is my choice. And I do feel I'm happy to eat meat if it's been well bred, if it's good for the environment, if it's been kindly handled, and has had a happy life. We have a fantastic relationship with our really loyal customers and our wonderful butchers. That's quite nice for a farmer, as we're bizarrely often very removed from the end consumer. What have you bought us today?
I bought nothing.
Oh, what's in the back of the lorry then?
I'm picking up wolf over there.
You're picking up your wool?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
I know, it's heavy going.
Oh, I know. Where's it going to?
Stamp, Castle Bytham.
How's your year been picking up wool?
Busy.
Has it?
Yeah, really busy.
Since COVID, better, worse, different?
Better.
Yeah.
There's loads of it.
Is the wool market gone back up again?
Apparently so.
Why do you think that is?
Well, because they told me. No, apparently it's got a bit better.
And it's filming time here in Shimpling. First, Songs of Praise Harvest Special.
My name's Charlotte. I'm a researcher for BBC Songs of Praise. We are here today filming at Shimpling Park Farm for an episode about harvest. There's a wonderful little church, Alfeton Church, in the middle of your land where you have lots of family connections, so we're going to talk a little bit about that.
What I have noticed is from the moment I arrived I could hear birdsong, a sense of tranquility and happiness. Well, farming, of course, it's a very spiritual practice for people who do farming and for people who benefit from farming. It's
life.
It is life, yeah.
Welcome.
Hi, my name's Laura Wright and I'm a feature presenter for Songs of Praise. Sing by trade, classical music, and grew up in Suffolk.
How are you finding the farm?
Oh, it's beautiful. I feel at home. As I say, grew up in Suffolk and in the countryside and then lived in London, so it's very, very nice to be back.
Brilliant. and the continued filming of a really exciting British independent documentary called 6 Inches of Soil. The issues of ground disturbance and the great plough debate versus the use of glyphosate, as well as other natural processes of farming, are going to be explored in depth. Can't wait for the release of that in 2023.
So my name's Anna Jackson and I am a farmer in North Lincolnshire, and we are filming for 6 Inches of Soil, which is basically a film about how farming is transitioning from conventional farming to all these different types of other farming, so regenerative, organic, and it's just really exciting. I think the farming world is about to kind of burst into this new exciting revelation that is everything else but conventional farming.
Doing today?
Hello, I'm Anna Louise. I'm from BBC Radio 4 from Farming Today and On Your Farm, and we are doing a very special educational week all over the country, and I'm lucky enough to have met Alice today at Shimpling Park Farm and find out about the day trip visits that children get to do and how they're learning on the farm, and also how it affects their behaviour and their mental health, as well as how it matches up with the curriculum.
And it's showtime. A new nature festival from Wild Ken Hill in Norfolk called The Gathering, and a family trip to the Farm Business Innovation Show, showing us farmers lots of ideas for farm diversifications, and notably more pods and hot tubs than you could sleep in for a whole year. Is the staycation here to stay post-pandemic, do we think? And autumn wouldn't be the same without the famous village fete of Shimpling and Alfeton, which traditionally brought the long-needed rain in true English fashion. And you've organised the fete, Jill?
No, I haven't. And Jenny Pine, all Jenny Pine.
How's it going? Is it all right? Going well?
Yes, very well, despite the weather. It's going very well.
But of course, this autumn was dominated by the death of the long-serving Queen Elizabeth.
My name's Rebecca. I'm a camera operator for the BBC. The family and the army will all come through the Horse Guards Parade, and we film them going past.
Good luck.
Me specifically, Harry and William.
The whole country seemed to come together, farmers and townspeople, professionals from all over the country.
PC Hogburn.
I'm PCP.
We're from West Midlands Police. We're down here in London today, helping keep everybody safe.
So I'm PC 2211 Gethin Jones, and I'm here to police the event involving the Queen Her Majesty.
And you've come all the way from Wales?
All the way from North Wales, yeah.
And one of the most famous organic farmers in the UK has become king.
A deep sense of gratitude for the more than 70 years in which my mother, as Queen, served the people of so many nations.
Morning.
Morning.
Have you finished drilling yet?
Yeah, we finished drilling our wheat and beans yesterday, which is great, and fantastically it's rained overnight, so it means that we got them in the ground before it rained, which is really, really good news. It's been an amazing drilling season. It's been so dry, our seed beds have been good, got all our trials in. Do you know, funnily enough, finishing sowing our autumn crops, it sort of feels slightly like the end of harvest, because it's a mammoth task. Getting all the seed beds ready, getting all the drilling done, and the day that it's finished is always a huge relief.
So this field's going to have a crop sown in the springtime, but John doesn't like to leave the soil bare over the winter if he can help it.
So over the winter we've got our green manures growing, keeping all the nutrients in the soil. It's taken a long time to get going. It was so dry when we sowed it. It's got mustard in here.
Yeah.
It's got some bursting clover there.
Yeah.
It's got some vetches here. So both those plants fix nitrogen. And it's got some Phacelia, which you can see here.
So what's the point of this?
Well, it's trying to keep our soil covered during the winter, but also trying to use this at time when we haven't got a crop in the ground to build a little bit of soil fertility.
As you can't use glyphosate or Roundup to kill this all off, how are you going to get rid of it in order to plant a crop in the spring?
Well, all the plants we planted are not frost tolerant, so we get a decent frost in -5 or 10, it should all be killed, but we'll also graze it with our sheep. And if we've got something to deal with in the springtime, we'll maybe either mow it or we will just cultivate it, pre-drilling our spring crops.
So you think you can do it without glyphosate?
Well, we can't use glyphosate, so the thing about when you can't use something, you have to be inventive and you have to work out how you're going to do it, which is one of the exciting things about being an organic farmer.
I think we've started a new tradition on the farm, an apple day, where the church group from Long Melford made a bit of a party out of the job I normally have to do alone of picking all the apples, so I'm delighted. And on bonfire night, it's time for the rams to go in and meet their ewes. After about 10 days or so, Joe puts a rattle harness on them.
A rattle harness is a harness they wear, and it holds a wax crayon, a coloured wax crayon. So when they mate with a ewe, the crayon rubs on the ewe's back, and you get the coloured mark. So you can see when the ewe's been mated. That will help you sort of time your lambing, so you'll have an idea of what's going to lamb in which group of weeks.
And as the year draws to an end, the rams are out doing their work, making the sheep pregnant. The sheep are all munching through the hay we made for them in the summer. The drought meant the grass was so scarce that this year we have had to start feeding early, and we'll have to buy in more or we are going to run out. The tractor toys have gone back. Schools have come for a scavenger hunt on the farm and made natural wreaths to take home. Even Santa paid a visit. And the combine's been taken outside and run in the freezing weather to stop any mice making their nests in it over the cold snap. And John won an award from the Farming and Wildlife Advisory Group, FWAG. He was really humbled by that.
So the Suffolk FWAG Awards are dedicated to exceptional examples of sustainable agriculture. Ones that aim to restore, protect and create high levels of natural capital in order to produce food.
The snow did come, which is great for organic farmers because it naturally kills the bugs. And our amazing team and their wider families kicked off their wellies and played the Malteser on a tape measure game before retiring home for Christmas. All bar the shepherding team, of course, because farming never really stops. Thank you for joining us, and we really look forward to seeing you next year.